is 11:06. What in the world am I leaving this place so late for? I worked until 11 o'clock today. But of course, you must go to the restroom because you never know. Driving home, I wanted to report to you what my clients thought about the lunch I gave them. Well, actually, one client. I have one client and her first day was today that she started. And the other two, who is that? Well, hi, Sandy. Sandy, honest to goodness, I don't think you get any sleep. I see you all hours of the day, young lady. Yikes. Welcome, welcome. I am reporting. What in the world do I have back there? I am reporting what my client said. Client, one of them, after I made her that canned tuna, salmon, sardine, and chicken. Something else I had in there. No, that's it. The salad. Let's see, what did you, oh shoot, I missed it. And of course I'm driving. So there. Well, she said for breakfast this morning, she made herself a rib steak and 2 eggs. That was her breakfast this morning. I said, wow, you just came right out of the box with the ultimate perfect breakfast. She said, I am so full, I don't know if I could be able to eat lunch. Now remember, the machinists, they eat their lunch before us. They eat their lunch at 6 and we eat at 6:30. So she had her lunch separate from me. After her lunch, she comes over and says, Jerry, that was so good. And there's sardines in there. I can't believe there's sardines in there. I said, well, there's just 1 can. If it's up to me, I would put 2 cans because, well, I like sardines. And I said, I didn't season it with anything other than mayonnaise and just the cans of the fish and of course the chicken. And I explained to her, it was very dead at work today. Holy cats. For whatever reason, these people just don't think management, but that's another story. So I explained to her the benefit of what Anita Breeze, the ketogenic woman, and I gave her the website to be able to check out some of the ketogenic women's recipes. And she said she was going to do that this week. But she said, I couldn't finish the whole thing. I said, well, I do. That's a whole meal for me. And she really liked the chicken crisps that I made her with the chicken breasts that I used from the dehydrator. She said, those tasted really good. Where did you get those from? I said, well, I make them. There is such a thing that you can buy them in the store, well, online, and they deliver it to you to your house, and it's very expensive, I told her. But I said, well, if you want to, you buy the chicken breasts and I will dehydrate them for you. I said, it's a very simple process. All you do is slice them relatively thin. You don't want, for those of you that have eaten them, you know what they're like. You don't want to bust your teeth on huge slices of chicken breast dehydrated. And then I just put the Redmond salt on both of them, and that was it. And she said that was delicious. She would have never guessed that there was sardines in there. She said, sardines. I remember my grandpa having sardines, and we as little kids, he would scare us with the can. He'd open the can and show it to the little kid. Like, we'd scream. So we had a little laugh about that. However, she said the taste wasn't there. She said it just tasted like it was a tuna salad. Without, of course, the celery and whatever vegetables and, of course, in many cases, pasta. That's a traditional tuna salad, at least in the Midwest, right? And she said that she put some mustard on. They have mustard in our break room, so she put some mustard on. And I said, well, that's perfect line. She's not afraid of being a carnivore with spices, but I didn't want to overwhelm it with too much spices that I don't know. Then she asked me what's on tomorrow's menu. So I told her I was going to make her a rib steak. She goes, oh, I don't know if I could eat a rib steak with the other guys. She is a machinist lady, and she works with machinist guys. So she's a little taken aback about looking fancy. You know what I mean? Looking kind of like a snob. I said, I'm not ashamed of it, but I understand. I'm going to do is make her, and then we had another giggle about this, because when I say this, and I think I even said this on Dr. Kiltz today, and I explained to people that I eat dog food, I think they think I eat dog food. I need to rephrase it where I should say, my dogs eat people food, and I share my people food with the dogs. But I know many of you, as my friends, understand. So, to all the Nellie and Ned and Neil and Nancy naysayers out there that thought it was gross and disgusting, she loved it. She loved it. She saved some of the chicken breast pieces, the dehydrated ones, for tomorrow. And I have some wings. I was thinking to give her a couple of wings as a side dish. Couple meaning three. To use that. That way she doesn't feel like it's a hoity-toity steak dinner in front of the other guys, and no special prep. Though I do have the air fryer and the plant. Remember, I keep that. So, what did the boys think about the meatballs, Jerry? The meatballs with the Pluck Oregon seasoning. They loved them. Love them. They said, these are just like a restaurant. These are so, I thought they were a little overdone. Myself, I even made mention on the live. Just a little bit, but these are single 20-some-year-old guys, and they loved those meatballs. I have lunch with the guys because, well, assembly, we have separate lunches, and they're young assembly kids. So they said, both of them said, that's fabulous. And the people that sit adjacent to them in the tables were saying, wow, that smells like pizza. I let them know, you know what, as a matter of fact, I had the pizza seasoning and I didn't even use it. So I said, oh, I just sprinkled seasoning blend. I'm not lying. I said I sprinkled a bit of a spicy seasoning blend on there, and they loved it. They said they didn't want any sauce, that they want to be able to be purists. I laugh, they're using my lingo. We want to be able to do this carnivore like a purist, like you, Jerry. Then they asked what I ate for dinner, and I brought the rest of the basket of the beef fat that I made. So far, so good. In the gullet, no stomach upset. Didn't have to use the restroom. Everything's working just fine in that department, of course. So we have 3 happy people that benefited from lunches, free lunches. So a good time was had by all. And again, you Nelly naysayers out there, I do that quite often when it came to the family and preparing them food, because I made them food so that I could eat it, the family. I'm not going to put cornflakes, for example, in a meatloaf or breadcrumb meatloaf or meatballs for the family, knowing full well that I can't eat it because I don't eat bread, cornflakes, or any of that, those binders or those fillers in food. No. And I do feed my family, extended family, the girls in Kenosha, when I cater the family affairs and parties like that. I feed them sugar-free cheesecake. They don't have a clue. They also don't have a clue that I use pork rinds. Okay, those of you that are freaked out from yesterday's video, I could tell that I dropped people from the video. You know, you can see the dropped people, which is fine. I make things that I'm making for myself, for other people. I don't make things for my audience because my audience isn't coming over to eat, right? Right, absolutely. So I have made the crusts for cheesecake using ground up pork rinds. The ones from Cudahy, my hometown in Milwaukee. Well, it's in Milwaukee County. Grind them up, put the allulose in there, the cinnamon in there. It is, and it tastes just like a graham cracker crust. It doesn't taste, the Porking Good brand, I have to always giggle because their small bag says 3 servings. Come on, Porking Good. I use a big bag myself as 1 serving when I go to the show house at the movies. I take a big bag and I gobble it all myself. I have some hibiscus tea. No caffeine. I want to be able to sleep, but I wanted something a little bit warm. I feel great. Tomorrow, they just sprung the news on us as we're leaving. Oh, don't come in early tomorrow, Jerry, because we're all caught up. We were fighting to try to find work today. We were just dead. So tomorrow I'm going in normal time, 2 o'clock, which is good. I get to spend a little more time with making dog food for the dogs. Isn't that lovely? How many people are on? There's nobody on right now. I think I lost people when I mentioned that I use pork rinds as opposed to graham crackers for a crust and cheesecake. When I did the ketogenic way of eating, I did a lot of creative things with recipes, just pulled stuff off the top of my head. And I have to laugh when I see people that are making what I made before, Courtney Luna or whomever is making. It's like, doggone it, I made that recipe before and that wasn't a big deal for me. I only got, I don't know, let's say 200 views. Courtney Luna makes it, she gets 20,000 views. Oh well, it is what it is. She's an influencer. I'm just a grandma in the middle of a forest, driving home in the middle of the night, almost morning. It's 11:20 p.m. I'm gonna flip the camera around and turn the inside light off so you can watch the road with me. Ooh, spooky. There you go. You guys have the road now, or whomever is going to come on. I have one person on right now. Hello, greetings, and thank you for popping in. Drive home with me. It is, what temperature is it right now? It is 35 degrees right now, and I am heading northeast on County Road M as in mother, drinking a cup of hibiscus herbal tea as I'm driving home. Gas is $2.54 here. The gas prices are fluctuating. We have to see what's going to be going down with Venezuela and getting the oil and the gasoline. Will Trump procure that? We will see. It's about time the U.S. wins. That's what I say. Sandy, I think that's your picture. I think I saw your picture. I'm trying to recognize people based on their pictures. And I think I saw Sandy's picture. There you go. It says one person's on. So yeah, must be Sandy. Good. Thank you, Sandy. It's relatively warm, 35 degrees, so the roads are not slippery, but we'll see what kind of woodland creatures pop out tonight onto the roads. So I had the air fryer fat bites that I put in the air fryer, and I had those. I just nuked them up in the microwave just to warm them through, not necessarily crisp them up. And then I put them in one of these cups that I'm drinking my tea in, a plain cup. And I took it out with me out on the floor while I was working. So it looked like I had a beverage. Little did they know I had little pieces of beef fat, meat and pork, or beef ribs, beef fat in a cup. I used to, when I was keto, put nuts in a cup and take that out to the line and work, and that just, whoo, that put the weight on me, let me tell you. Because nuts is one thing that I certainly could not moderate when I did keto. That's why I find, just for me, the carnivore way of eating is so stinking simple. Are you hungry? What do you want to eat? Open up a can of sardines, open up a can of tuna, throw a burger on an air fryer, and in 8 minutes you have a medium well or medium cooked burger. From frozen, medium rare. Everything is fast, even for the dogs. If I'm making a burger for myself or 2 burgers, well, I might as well make 6. That way the dogs have a couple of meals. I told Jack before I left the house to feed the dogs a 3rd pound burger and 2 eggs, 2 of the organic eggs that I got from Costco. I'm giving it to the dogs. They're medium eggs, which we all know when we bake that we all use large eggs. So the yolks, for example, that would not have been enough. I'd probably have to add extra yolks. I could probably figure out the math or weigh it or something, but I've never weighed the 8 egg yolks when I made the oopsie cake. All I know is after that, when I did the live yesterday with Amy and my nose was just running, I made the determination to must stay away from dairy. I just must. I can't have that feeling anymore of phlegmy throat. So today, before I left the house, I fed Jack lunch. The dogs already ate, but they've been antsy for treats. Begging for treats. So right now, their treats until their shipment comes dog treats from Full Moon. They've been eating us out of house and home with those snacks, let me tell you. So right now I have dehydrated ham left over from Christmas that I made for the dogs, the spiral ham. I cut it in strips, dehydrated it. Perfect dog snack. Crunchy, chewy, it's meat. They like it. I tasted some, this is before the fast started. I tasted some and it did taste a wee bit sweet, but that's ham. And it did not, I did not use the packet. I did not cook it though. Really cut perfectly as far as spiral slicing, just for me to go down and make it into individual, I don't know, little bars. Some of the fat I removed and I just fed it to the dogs. They're not afraid of fat either. Obviously, it's meat. It's fat from meat. So they ate that. So yes, they're eating the ham. But when I tasted it, it tasted as though it was a honey cured type of ham. Very, very sweet. But the packet, toss that baby. We're not using that. Nobody needs that. The dogs don't need it. Jack doesn't need it. And the pack they throw in with these spiral hams, I would venture to say that was surely a cup of sugar in that packet, along with, of course, I didn't open it up. This is just based on me feeling it as I tossed it into the garbage. The typical spices that people add with a ham, clove is what my mom told me to do. We would score a ham and add whole cloves into each X, into the X's, and then put brown sugar on top and pineapple rings, maraschino cherries in the holes of the pineapple rings. And then usually we would take Sprite or 7-Up. Wow, that guy went right through a stop sign. Oh, must be drunk. Then we would pour it with the Sprite or the 7-Up on the top, and we would bake the ham, and it would be a sweet treat. But this ham was uber sweet. So for those people at work that added that extra packet of sugar, whew, way too much. But my mouth is sensitive to sugary and sweet tastes. I don't like it. It's kind of gaggy. Is that even a word? Gaggy? Gaggy to me? And, I took some of the beef jerky that I made. It's very good. The jerky that I couldn't eat after I made it with the new dehydrator that I did the demo for you. Very, very, very good. And all it was brisket sliced thin with Redmond's real salt. That's it. Nothing else. That one, delicious. I don't know. I used to have and I'm sure those of you that hear this story, you'll be able to recognize and say, oh, my grandma had one too. Remember those, I used to call them mill sifters? It had the crank on the side, and then grandmas all had it to be able to sift the flour. Well, I thought I had my mother's. I was looking all over for it. Don't know where it is. I don't know. And I have some Redmond's popcorn salt because I made Jack some homemade potato chips. Potatoes I got on sale at Quick Trip, a 5-pound bag for 99 cents. So I don't want to buy him any of the store-bought seed oil potato chips. No. I could buy him the avocado oil ones, but he said they taste funny. Well, I guess they would, because really it's a seed. Avocado's a fruit, technically. But I use beef tallow to fry all the potatoes, french fries in my house. So I sliced the potatoes this weekend. What was that, Saturday? I did Saturday. Slice them up thin after Thomas is live. Soak them in water and then put them between two of my kitchen towels, the cotton towels, and then let them up dry and absorb any wetness there. And made him potato chips that way. And then I tried making a little bit thicker potato chips, and it was almost like a home style, home fries, I think they call it. So they didn't crisp up as well. So today before I left, I made Jack. Oh, someone's coming out of my road. Who is that? This is a rare sight. I put in the air fryer those thicker potato slices. Creeper. And I made him on the rye bread that I bought him. I gave him the Braunschweiger, the sale Braunschweiger. Gave that to him, and then gave Jack a piece of the Oopsie cake, not with ice cream, with hot fudge. Let me turn on my light and get my mail. And then the two German Shepherds had a piece of the Oopsie cake, because as much as I love it, and I do love it, so don't think that I don't love it. Love. What is this? Sam's Club or Costco bill and a realtor trying to contact us about selling our home. Lovely. So the dogs and Jack are going to be polishing off the rest of the Oopsie cake. They love it. So I put Squeaky's down, but Ladybug didn't get hers because the little condo princess German Shepherd that she is, she did not want to finish her breakfast this morning. So I said, nope, you don't get any cake. And the look on her face was as though she was going to bust out in tears. What? You mean I can't have cake like Squeaky? That's not fair. So Squeaky just woofed that cake down like nobody's business. While Jack was finishing his liver sausage and Braunschweiger sandwich. Here we go, over the hill. I'm still gonna be careful because it still is icy. But see how snow covered it is now? There's ice under all that snow, boys and girls. Yes, indeed. And I'm gonna rear end this baby. My salting did a good job that I did. I'm a good salter. A poor shoveler, let me tell you. I am a poor shoveler. And I'm a poor backer-upper, as a matter of fact, too. Not exactly the best backer-upper in the world, that's for sure. I use my mirrors, and I do use the little camera here. It's